like to read books? Well, it depends on the book. I work downtown. What? I'm so boring today.
No! God, please, no! No!
If you have heard these sentences, or if you sometimes say them, you gotta watch this video and learn more about 7 common mistakes English students make. Hey friends, Teacher Prix here to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. In this video, I'm going to show you 7 common mistakes every English student makes and how to fix them, okay? As I always say, making mistakes is part of the game, okay? Don't be discouraged. Don't feel frustrated because of the mistakes you make. Most of these mistakes I'm going to show you today do not stop the communication between you and the listener, but it's important to fix them, okay? And that's what I want to show you in this video. So you can already hit the like button and share this video with your friends, why not? Number 1, depend. The verb depend has a specific preposition, and the preposition is on. Depend on. Most students use the preposition of, but that's not okay. So you should say on. How can you practice this and memorize? You can write examples with the verb depend on a piece of paper or on your phone, and during the day try to remember the sentences mentally, okay? You can also stick post-its around your desk, on your computer screen, on your bathroom mirror with some examples. That way you will remember. Number 2, using verb to be with another verb in the simple present. For example, I'm work downtown. She's like to study. No, all these sentences are incorrect. You do not need verb to be with another action in the simple present. Okay? I'm go? No, I go. She's like? No, she likes. They are work? No, they work. So how can you fix that? Think of sentences. Choose 10 verbs you use all the time. Study, work, go, and make as many sentences as possible, okay? Write examples with he, she, it, they, we, you, I. Make realistic examples of things that happen during your day, okay? That way it'll be easier for you to memorize and make this mistake less often, all right? Number 3, boring or bored? Interesting or interested? Tiring or tired? In English, we have 2 kinds of adjectives. Adjectives ending in ed and adjectives ending in ieg. Oh my god! And adjectives ending in ing. The problem is that students confuse when to use one and when to use another because they are used for different things. I use adjectives ending in ed to describe people, how people are. And I use adjectives ending in ing to describe situations, to describe things, okay? For example, I am interested in music. Or I can say, music is interesting, okay? Now, how can you fix this? Choose a list of 5 or 10 adjectives, ed and ing adjectives, that for you are very confusing. You always make mistakes with these adjectives. Then you start writing your examples. You start building sentences that make sense to you and start reading them during the day, thinking about them during the day if you can't really sit down and write. Try to have some time for preparation, okay? Sit down for 5-10 minutes, write the sentences with the 7-10 adjectives that are confusing for you, and then you can start thinking about them when you are going to work, or while you are on the bus or on the train, okay? Now, I have an observation. Although you use ed adjectives for people and ing adjectives for things, there are situations when you can use an ing adjective to describe a person, but it's a different idea, okay? For example, oh, Jack is so interesting. He always has many stories to tell. He's got so much experience in life. So here, I'm not saying he's interested in something. I'm saying that as a person, he is interesting. It's nice to talk to him because he has so many things to tell. So it's a different idea. And I cannot do this with all adjectives. There are some adjectives that will allow me to do this. Boring is another example that would allow me to do that. Number 4, take a coffee or have a coffee. This is a collocation mistake that many students make, okay? And sometimes it's not just with the word coffee, but with breakfast. Oh, I took breakfast this morning. No, you had breakfast this morning, or maybe you ate breakfast this morning, but you cannot say take breakfast this morning, or I took a coffee, or I had a coffee, or I drank some coffee, okay? As I said, this is a collocation mistake. So how do you fix collocation mistakes? Sit down and make a list. Okay, for example, have a coffee is one that is very common. So now you know that you should say have a coffee, not take a coffee. So as this is a collocation mistake, you can easily find online a list of several collocations for you to study. Now, you learn how to say some phrases correctly if you study them. And there are some expressions in English, some collocations that are very specific. It's make a mistake, not do a mistake. It's do homework, not make homework. So all these small little problems can be corrected if you sit down and look for lists, not long lists, okay, but small lists. But today I wanted to talk about the take coffee and have coffee, which is a very common confusion many English students make. Number 5. My friend is very nice. Your name is Jack. What? Another common mistake students make is to confuse the possessive adjectives your, his, and her in English when we are talking about a different person. Okay? John, Mary, the dog, the students. We cannot use the possessive adjective your. We need to use the correct possessive adjective her, his, its, or their, all right, or our, okay? So we shouldn't tend to use your for everything. Oh, my mother is very nice. Your cake is very good. My mother's cake, her cake, okay? I would recommend making like 5 to 10 sentences and about other people, not about you, and then describe things they have. Oh, my neighbor is very nice. Her children go to school with my children. Okay, so this is an example. But once you write these examples, try to think about them. As you know, I love making videos about how to think in English. And if you think about these examples during the day, your brain will memorize this faster, will understand and accept this faster. Okay? Number 6. Apple is more better than Samsung. There are some problems with this sentence, and it's not just the English. Which do you prefer, Apple or Samsung? Let me know in the comments. Now, going back to English, this is another very common mistake students make, okay? At some point, you will study, or you have already studied maybe, at some point you will study comparatives in English, how to make comparisons. And one of the rules is if your adjective, you need adjectives to make comparisons. If your adjective is short, okay? You cannot use no, 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 no. You cannot use more. What do you do instead? You should change your adjective a little bit. You are going to add er in most cases, okay? And then you can use then. So, for example, fast, faster than. So, a Ferrari is faster than a Hyundai car. I don't know much about cars, so help me out here. In the example I gave, Apple is more better than Samsung. I cannot use more. And here, better is different. There are some irregular cases. I don't always add er. For example, good becomes better, okay? And there is no more. The word more is gone, okay? Now, to improve this, how about as you are going to work, you are looking at things, you start making comparisons. Start comparing things as you are driving to work, as you are on the subway. Look at the people around you and say, hey, that woman is prettier than that woman, or that guy is more elegant, long, you should use more elegant than the other guy. Or, oh, this bus is faster than my bicycle. So start creating examples, and this will help you memorize. But the thing is, don't just write and read. Think about these examples, okay, during your day, and try to find situations when you can think about a comparison, when you are at work, when you are going to work, when you're going back from work, when you're going to the gym, okay? Number 7, children or child? Woman or women? What's the plural? What's the singular? This is another big confusion students make. It happens, guys. Students get very confused with irregular plural forms of words, okay? So, for example, children, the word children is the plural form of the word child. So what happens? Many students use children in the singular, with the singular idea. So, oh, the children is playing, okay? Children are, or they don't use child, they just use children. So it's important to really understand the difference and take notes on these irregular cases of a plural form, okay, of plural words. Another example, woman, singular, women. The most common problem here is the pronunciation. That's different, okay? What happens is many students just say the same thing. The woman are, the women is, the woman, they just make a big confusion, and they never change the pronunciation and the conjugation of the verbs. Remember, the woman, singular, likes, but the women like. There you go. These are 7 very common mistakes every English student makes. Now, I have an exercise for you. I want you to correct these 5 sentences, okay? Game on. I want to see your correction in the comments. I see that many of you leave the comments to me, which I love, by the way, but you don't do the exercises. It's so fun when you do it and I can correct and leave my observations. So I hope to see your answers here in the comments. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!